Welcome to the Eastgate Podcast. This is
Let's Talk About It
with Lawana, Schrieffer, and Nate Prepelka. We dive into tough questions, real-life challenges, and what it means to walk with Christ. In this episode, we talk about idolatry. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
We have a guest today.
The best guest.
The guest.
There'll be other guests, but they will not be like me.
Oh my gosh.
We have Blake Rosemann is joining us this morning.
I'm Blake Rosemann.
We are going to be talking about idolatry.
Yeah.
Lawana, you brought this topic up, so I'll let you take the lead.
Oh, Nate's such a giver. Well, good morning, everyone. I think I brought this up because I was dealing with it myself, just how I tend to go towards things when I need comfort or when I'm feeling really stressed, and how I'm like, you could be talking to the Lord about this instead of like opening the refrigerator just one more time or scrolling on TV. And it just made me think how biblically God has said that He is our source, and how I circumvent that by trying to go to outside things, and how in the Old Testament idolatry is a little bit different than in the New Testament, and we're going to talk about that today. So we're going to go with do you want to go with the first verse?
Yeah. So for the Old Testament, we've got Exodus 23, which says, "You must not have any other God but me."
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, I don't know if we think about having different gods nowadays, right? We're not talking about what were the different gods back then? Like Baal and
Dagon and the other gods of the surrounding nations.
You're right.
And then specifically in Exodus, God is reintroducing Himself to the Israelite people who just come out of slavery from Egypt. So they had all those gods.
They had all those gods.
Yeah, Ra and down the line.
Yeah, the sun god,
Osiris.
Yeah. And so we're not in that, I was going to say society, but that's not the culture that we are in.
It's not quite so cut and dry now.
Right. It's not like put that wooden thing down, you know? And so I was thinking that in the Old Testament, it was a different kind of idolatry than what we see today. In today's culture, anything could become an idol in our life.
Absolutely.
Anything that we elevate over God.
And it's not so different than this, because, I mean, there's archaeological evidence of Hebrew people having different little statuettes of gods, you know, you like line them up in the windowsill.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of different gods that you would or people at the time would worship or ask, you know, for fertile crops or for rain or for finances or whatever the case may be. And then they would also have Yahweh.
And He'll be the the caboose.
Or where
just in case you guys don't work out. He's a just in case God.
But he was just in the
lineup.
The mix.
Yeah.
Yes. And so in Exodus, this is Yahweh introducing Himself, saying, you know, I am. And you don't need to have any other
gods. Yeah. When we were homeschooling our kids, we did a thing called Classical Conversations. And one of the ways they taught history was through song. And one of the subjects was Greek and Roman gods. And you would go and list all the different, you just sing a song about them. That's pretty much how I learned about the Greek and Roman gods. But I understand that. I was thinking, like, how were those gods created? If Yahweh is the I am, He's the one, then these other gods, are they man-made?
The Greek gods?
Yeah, they're man's way of explaining the world, right?
Yeah.
And how to be in the world and how to.
I think that's just our human nature, needing to have a God. If you go to like any culture,
everybody's
thing around
got
the world,
yeah. Even in Japan, where they don't necessarily have a God, there's still ancestors and animism, you know, that kind of thing.
Something that explains life.
Yeah, and then something, you know, Romans says that all of creation is groaning. You know, humans can look out and have been able to look out at trees and mountains and sky and all this other stuff and be like, no human created all this, you know. So there's got to be something else out there.
So we've always been looking.
Yeah, we need a God. We've talked a lot about we need God wants us to depend on him.
Yeah.
Amen.
We have a dependency for a God, essentially.
Yeah.
And so when it's not God, we create our own.
That makes perfect sense. And I do think I've heard a lot about, like, we have a hole in our heart that we're always searching to fill with stuff. When we don't know God, we think there's something else that's going to fill that emptiness. So when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about how now in this time of the world, how Jesus doesn't say it quite the same way when they ask him what are the two most important commandments. He talks about in Matthew, you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind. It's not quite as like no other God but me, but it's like if you're loving God with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind, there's no room for anything else. There shouldn't be any room for something else to be in that position. But we don't quite get it right all the time, right? And that how just everyday things that we do can become something that we put in place of where God's supposed to be. So I want you guys to tell us some of your things that you could think of.
My gods for me, probably like escapism, just like in media or whatever, movies, games, trying not to face the realities of this world and bring those to God, you know?
Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
So before I was a Christian, it was drugs, and partying, and anything that would keep my mind off of the problems that existed. Now, so I am an addict, and so I've changed those things to jigsaw puzzles and audiobooks and whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But I'll dive in I'll get addicted to jigsaw puzzles, man. I'll just keep on doing them while I'm listening to an audiobook. It's one of the ways that I can actually shut my brain down because it never stops. So if I'm doing something with my hands and listening to an audiobook, I can actually relax. But then I'm 2 months in and my 5th jigsaw puzzle that I bought at Walmart, and I'm like, okay, I need to. So I have tried to replace it with healthy things.
Right.
But man, people can make. All of us, we can make idols out of work, out of parenthood.
Yes.
Just good things.
Yep.
We can make idols out of.
Looking up the belief pages of megachurches.
Yes. I was going to ask, is this just something that you do for fun in your spare time?
No, as you were talking, I was just realizing how I do that a lot. Look at other churches and what they believe and stuff.
That's funny.
Do you write them angry emails?
Do you keep it to yourself?
I do a lot of writing that I keep to myself about my issues I have with
what they said
with the church at large.
The church at large.
That's good.
That's funny. I like that you brought up that we can make anything into an idol. I think a lot of times in our society, for sure, that we idolize careers, job titles, what you do, we idolize education, how much education you have, or if you don't have enough education,
physical beauty,
marital status, appearances, what you're driving,
how much stuff you have, and
your influence on social media,
how many likes you can get with one post.
Absolutely. So America does have a God. We say that we're a Christian nation or whatever. No, America does have one God, and that is money. We worship. We'll give any excuse and worship whatever we have to do to get money. We'll sell any part of our souls to be able to do that.
We do. I was thinking, when we replacing or looking for something that God can give through other things, what are we trying to have? And you guys brought up a couple of things. One is when we just are in so much discomfort with our own thoughts, like we don't want to sit with them. We want out of how it's making us feel to try to sit with this. Either if it's sadness or anger or disappointment, it's like, instead of sitting with this, instead of talking to God about it, I just need to escape it. So it's a lot of escapism. Like we're trying to, and some of it's numbing. Like I just don't want to feel anything. I don't want to think about anything. I don't want to have to make choices about it, so I don't want to feel. So we try to numb ourselves. And then when you're talking about money, I think I was telling Nate when I was first getting a divorce, one of the first things God brought to my attention was, you have placed your security in the wrong thing. It was like, we are always, he's military. We're going to always have income. We're going to always, You're going to always be married. You're going to have this kind of security. And I think for women, security is high on the priority list of what makes you feel safe. And so when God told me that, I was like, oh my gosh, I put it in a person and in a marital status, and it has to stay on God. And that is something I've been walking in for the last, trying to do that, because it's hard to let go of those idols. Like, it's like you put it down for a minute and you're like, I need something.
My therapist called that a pacifier.
A pacifier. It's quicker than, sometimes it feels quicker. God can be long and waiting, right? It's like, this is a little bit immediate and it hits you really quickly. Yeah, pacifier. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, my therapist came up with that.
Pacifier immediately makes me think of my son. Instead of when he's crying, instead of going through the things of checking all the, make sure his diaper's good, make sure he's fed, make sure he's sleeping and all that. Just like, I just want to just shove the pacifier in his mouth, like, shut up.
Stop now.
Stop now. Yeah.
There we go. Fix that problem.
So instead of going through the steps to alleviate that discomfort, you're just pacifying it.
And it does, and it comes back. So like you're got the fifth puzzle, and you're like, okay, maybe I need to face something that I'm basically trying to run from, like I'm trying to hide from. But especially when we're doing it in things like you said, like our jobs, or like when we're in service, it cannot feel like an idol. It feels like, I'm doing something.
Easy to justify.
Yeah. And God hasn't called us to always be doing.
What? What are you talking about, lady?
I mean, he hasn't said, you'll feel better if you strive for 24/7, or if you commit to serving all the time. It's like, you can come and sit with me, and that is hard to do.
Yeah. We, just getting into the culture. I don't know. It might be for all cultures, but fight not feeling guilty about just, because I'll sit for 3 hours or something like that and just not really do anything, play a game on my phone or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Walking with it, but then afterwards I'm like, didn't send out that email. Could have called this person. It's a strange thing to alleviate ourselves from that guilt from that too. That's
interesting. That, we've got all these things that we try to find comfort in or distract ourselves, but God calls us to find comfort in Him.
Yeah.
We've got right here 2 Corinthians 1:3-4. All praise to God, the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. God is our merciful Father and the source of all comfort. He comforts us in all our troubles so that we can comfort others. When they are troubled, we will be able to give them the comfort God has given us.
It's impressive how you rattled that off the top of your head.
Thank you.
Good reader.
Memorized it on a page in front of me.
Yeah.
So, right there. Why is it never fulfilling, or why do we keep going back to those things to distract ourselves that we try to find comfort in? It's because it's not comforting.
Well, it's easier to microwave a Hot Pocket than to make a roast beef, make roast beef in a crock pot or over a stove for, however many hours. It's just, that's easy and fast. And I mean,
it's easier to stick the pacifier in my son's mouth and to figure out what he's crying about.
But, I guess that's what discipleship is. It's the discipline of doing that. And it's more fulfilling. And that's the thing, so I talk to Christians that have been doing this for a while, and have more experience. They're old. Okay. The old people. So, but, you meet a Christian that's been walking for a long time. There is a steadiness, and a peacefulness with them that doesn't get rattled by the newest news story or the latest Christian scandal or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And so, but that comes from not eating Hot Pockets and taking the time to make roast beef,
Yeah.
from not doing the fasting, from not doing the pacifier. And so I do think that God is convicting us to pay attention to these things and take our time with him, trusting him that he's going to get us through whatever the situation may be, whether, difficulty with our spouse or a flat tire on the car. And we can work through those things. But those things grow, right? Like, we can't get upset with ourselves if we're not going to get it right every time.
Right.
I heard Nate mention about you guys being human, just regular human beings.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's like, but I heard y'all talking about that whenever I came in.
Hello, people.
But no, I mean, we're gonna do this. It's gonna take some time. It's gonna grow, and I mean, you're not gonna go into a gym and start bench pressing 300 pounds. I mean, you gotta, and that's the cool thing is I think that I did it whenever we were talking about idolatry. I do have a story I want to tell y'all, but God is not impatient.
Right.
God is more patient with us than we are with us.
Long suffering. I love that they call it long suffering.
Yeah. I think too, God, also calls us to slow down.
Yes.
That's something he's been revealing to me lately is, we want the instant thing. We want it right now or whatever. But God he works pretty slow.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, it's like you build up to it. You don't just go and pick up 200 pounds. You gotta work towards it. And
you can, and you'll get crushed.
Right.
And so God's nice enough to be patient with us and work with us and be like, that's too much. Don't do that. Don't hurt yourself in the meantime. Don't destroy the things around you, while you're doing these things. So here's one idolatry thing that whenever you guys were mentioning, I was thinking about it. This is a story that happened to me. So several years ago, a bunch of years ago, I guess now, I was going through some pretty serious depression, and I was having a lot of thoughts about, that I'm worthless. I'm actually making life harder for the people around me. I'm disappointing to people because I don't follow through. Just a myriad of things. And I would just say it was just on loop in my head constantly, always being mean to myself. And it's really hard to hear God through that.
Right.
But God is good, and he's gracious, and he knows us, and he knows how to speak to us. And at one point, I finally had a thought, like, if somebody, just made me think of a few brothers and sisters here at Eastgate that I genuinely love tremendously. And it's like, what would happen if Dennis said that he was going to come over and help you do something, and then didn't, last minute even, and canceled. Like, it would be no big deal. I mean, I'm no worse off than I was before, that kind of thing. It's like, well, why would you forgive him? Well, because I love him. I mean, like, it's not, there's no telling what's going on in his life. There could be something happen to him that, is going to be more, but it doesn't even matter. Like, if it's something that he needs to take care of and can't help me, that's not a big deal. Like, I'll, just figure out a different way or not get done or whatever. And he's like, so you'd forgive him? I was like, yeah. Absolutely, I've forgiven. Why? Well, because we're called to forgive. We're called to love and that kind of thing. And he was like, so why won't you forgive yourself for all these these things? It's like, God, I can't forgive myself. I know I can do better or whatever. And he's like, so you're better than all of them? I was like, no, it's not that. No, it's not that. It's just I need to do better and all this other stuff. So I can't forgive myself. And then God asked me. He said, "So are you saying that you're greater than I am?" And the answer, obviously, Jesus forgave us. Right. Made a way for forgiveness for us, and I'm elevating myself above God in my own forgiveness. Yeah. So I created an idol out of myself. I made myself my own God above God.
I think we do that.
And that's so all of these things come back to that of placing something even ourselves and our own good intentions above the Holy One, the Almighty One.
We were like, move over. When I was getting divorced, it's not the divorce part, but looking back on the marriage, I realized something, and like your story reminds me of it. It was like, I decided that God needed my help with my so laughing.
Man, I'm glad I didn't get that whole sip of coffee in my
I would have been covered in coffee just then.
You were right in the line of fire.
Oh my gosh. I look back on it. I was like, oh, I thought God needed my help. And so I put myself on a cross and like hip check Jesus. It's like, you should move over because I got this. And it's not the way to go. God's like, I didn't need you. I did not need your help. And
It's really good though. I mean, it's fun,
like,
but it's really good.
Yeah. So it's like what you're saying. Also, self-reliance. That was my other thing. I got to figure. Nate and I talk about this a lot, especially because we're like, I need to know. Like, I want to know. I don't want to faith thing. I want to know, and then I'll do it. And it's like, if I knew, I'll do it. And then so, and I would put myself in charge. Like, I need to know everything. I need to be in control. I need to produce this. I need to make this happen. I need to do. And God was like, I call you into dependence. And I heard, like, for 3 years, surrender kept coming up. I was like, I don't even understand the word. Like, what do you mean? It's like, you need to surrender. And he was like, I called you into dependence. I was like, no, I thought the goal of life was to grow up, go to college, get a good job, get married, and provide for yourself. Like, to be able to do all these things.
There's
and
a pattern.
He's like, no. And that has been very much my, when people talk about deconstructing, is just a old thought, the way I thought life that was so off track from what God actually wanted. It's like, I don't need you to be running around, trying to make everything happen. That's my job.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I'm 57. I'm like, oh, I'm learning that in my 50s, that it wasn't ever supposed to be our job.
I get that. So I'm 46 now, and I've been thinking about that. I'm like, I mean, I just came to the realization the other day, or a fuller revelation, I don't know what you call it, but that whenever we're going through stuff in life, we don't have to do anything. We can just pray because God answers prayers. And I mean, this is like last year, I think.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, I can just pray and God moves the mountain. Like, I don't. So anyway, I've been a Christian for 25 years.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
There's a bell curve for Christians, and I put it way down here.
It's the southern ones or something, because it's like, oh, it's my southern family. Let me back it up.
Oh, the Cajuns doing it again.
It's so easy.
That's really good, Lawana.
To make yourself the idol that you think has got to have all the answers and be able to do all the things and
that is really good.
Not be like other people.
Yeah, that might be our biggest idol is ourselves and our own abilities and
manufacture.
Yeah, and our reliance on ourselves to be God.
Yeah.
To be in control.
Yes. To know.
Yeah.
But to know is not, that's the opposite of faith, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, if you knew, then you'd need no faith.
There would be no need for faith. Nate and I were talking about in the garden, the tree of fruit, knowledge, right? The tree of knowledge. And it was like, has that helped since they got that tree?
Right on.
It has not helped us.
That's really good.
That was not the answer.
Yeah.
That did not help us.
That's actually really awesome. Yeah, they actually did have the knowledge at that point, and it worked bad.
Yeah.
And it continues to work bad. It continues to betray us and lead us into the wrong paths and stuff, and put ourselves above God.
Yeah.
That's what Jesus said. They have become like us, and we do. We try to
be them.
Try to be God. Yeah.
Try to be them in our lives. I remember God saying, I said, well, what do you want me to do? And he said, I want you to sit with me. And I was like, but what do you want me to do? Like,
you're misunderstanding me, God.
I want you to sit down, shut up, and be with me.
I don't know if he said shut up, Nate. I don't know if he said shut up, but probably. But yeah, I just was like, but that goes against every instinct that I have, is that you're telling me that be still and know, like that whole be still and know that I am God is like, but what am I supposed to be producing in this moment? And he's like, nothing. And that just didn't feel safe. And it's funny because like searching for safety outside of God is just such a ridiculous notion. Like, you're awake because like you woke up because of God, not because you could produce that, But those things we take for granted, they just seem to be like things that have to happen, and then we can take over once we open our eyes. It's like, you open your eyes because of me. Oh yeah,
This is really convicting to listen to all this. By the way, God's really telling me I need to back up a little bit, which is great, and I'm going to try and listen. But I'll do a bad job at it, but I'm going to try.
You got to try.
But I was thinking, the waking up thing. It's almost like you would, as if you were saying, if before you go to bed, okay, what kind of dream do I have to have tonight in order to wake up in the morning? As if you could control what kind of dream you had. You know what I mean? It's frivolous.
Frivolous is a good word. It's like I don't know, like trying to open a stone door with your fist. It's like, you're just hurting yourself.
Right on. Yeah.
And wasting time.
Good. I got my knuckles bloody and the stone has not moved. I was thinking about whenever you were talking about that, like what do we got to do? Yeah. And I'm big into that too. I'm big into like the hands and feet of Jesus. I want to be, and those things are really good if Jesus is telling us to go and do them. But I was thinking about the covenant with Abraham. Whenever God made his covenant with Abraham, do you remember what Abraham's role in that was?
He was passed out.
He went to be asleep. God did all of everything. God created the whole covenant. Abraham did nothing except for lay there. And so God's the same yesterday, today, and forever. So why would he not create that same covenant in us daily? Is that he's going to do the thing. We just need to back up and not do anything.
Not get in his way.
be a part of the covenant.
Right.
Be in the Sabbath that he created, and and I don't know if it's even a qualification or whatever. Man, doesn't that feel lazy though? You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I mean, what if I didn't come to Eastgate on Friday during the staff meeting? Like, God's got all of it under control. Like, that doesn't feel very responsible. And I know that it's not that. I think that, we're supposed to show up on time or be reliable or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, we are within this world. We have to operate within, within this world. The things of God that, like, with Abraham, the covenant and all those things. What could Abraham have done in that? God had all that stuff. Yeah. So Abraham did what he could do within this world, lay down on his bed, take a nap.
Abraham was like, "That's okay. I got it. I'll go get the sheep that you created and provided." But I'll be the one. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's backwards. I think we kind of also think we have to earn things. And so we're just trying to put in our work, so we're earning whatever God wants to give that God already gave freely. And then I think we delay stuff, delay healing, delay revelation when we utilize some kind of idolatry, because God's like having to wait for us to put it down. When you put it down, then he's not that he can't, but he invites you to make a decision. So when you put it down, then God can meet you in comfort. He can give you that comfort. Like you were saying, when you're saying like people who have walked with the Lord a long time, they are long suffering. They develop those fruits of the Spirit. And when we're circumventing it with things, we're not developing any of those fruits. And that's like when you were reading the thing about comfort, that we can't comfort. Like, here's a candy bar. Like, you can sit with me and watch 10 hours of TV and eat a candy bar. We're not giving them the comfort that God could give us because we've circumvented it with our own way. But yeah, I think it just feels easier in the moment to do it our way.
I also think that it's something that we can do.
That we can do.
You know what I mean? Like, sitting with it, there's not a lot that we do. No. You just have to feel and know. And
just have to rely on God. Yeah. Depend on Him.
Yeah. And that's not, so that doesn't feel like it accomplishes things.
Right.
Because also, God is a seed planter. So whenever these things happen, whenever we do sit with something, God's going to plant a seed in there of healing. That's going to take time to grow as well. And I think so often that we're like, okay, I'm going to pray about this thing, and God's going to eventually, do whatever He's going to do, and it's going to be like instant, awesome. I'm going to get tingles all over my body and all this other stuff, and it's rarely. I mean, I'm not saying it never happens, but man, it's rare. Usually, you're riding in your car 3 months later and be like, "Oh God, you did that whole thing in front of my eyes without me seeing it." That's the fascinating part to me. But that's it's good growth comes from that.
Time.
Yeah.
Well, you always say, I don't think you say the word hindsight, but you're like, I always see what God has done.
Yeah, I was just thinking that
in hindsight. Like
hindsight, I said retrospect. I need to look up the definitions of the words, but hindsight, retrospect, I think it's
the same thing. Yeah,
same idea. That we see the effect of God, or we see how God has answered us in our prayers and things like that in retrospect, after it's already happened.
Right.
I think hindsight might come from the Bible. I could be wrong about this, but whenever the Lord passed over Moses and put him into the cleft of the cliff, and then Moses was allowed to see his backside, I think that might be where hindsight might come from, because he could only see where God had already gone. So,
yeah, that's interesting. I think. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go.
I was thinking about that when Moses goes up to talk to God in the mountain, and they can't wait the 40 days they've built the calf, because they need something instant. They need that comfort now. They can't wait for Moses to come back down. And that's how we are. We want the tinglies, and we want the discomfort to go away right now. We want to feel better. We want
it to be shiny
better
and pretty, and something physical.
Yeah, and so we were like, what can I do to make that happen? Or what can I numb? Or what can I go away? I heard a psychiatrist, say that we need to stop asking about addiction. The way he was talking about addictions was, it's not the thing they're doing, is what are they trying to get comfort from? What is the underlying thing that they are trying to escape from, is what we need to look at. It's not just people just are lazy, or people just don't have it. They're in pain. There's some pain somewhere that this is what they're addressing it with. And I think any kind of, we like safety and certainty. We like to know. We want to know when, how, where. And God isn't really like a God who tells you that stuff. And so sometimes it just feels overwhelming. But everything changes. The seasons are always changing. You're not going to stay in that for forever. That is going to change. Yeah. And if you can trust that God's timing, He's coming to relieve that of you, and just keep submitting it to Him, it'll save you a lot of additional heartache.
Yeah. I think I want to qualify too about the hindsight thing, that that's not like the only time that we see God. Because I think about, like, I show up here at church on a Sunday morning, and I can see God at work throughout the community and everything. Yeah. And it's not always like a big grand thing or whatever. Right. Maybe there's a new leaf coming out of the plant or whatever, something small like that. Yeah.
No, I think that's a good point too.
So Psalm 119, 105. It's like a very well-known verse. Thy word is, sorry about the King James, that's all I got. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. It doesn't say it's a map. There is no, it doesn't say that you can see for miles.
Right.
It's the footstep in front of you. Like you can see right around you. That's where God is calling us to. And so if you're on a dark path in the woods and, you got a lantern or whatever, you're not going to, it'll help you to keep from tripping over a tree that had fallen in the way or whatever. But you still look like you're going into the dark woods.
Right.
I mean, it's still scary.
It is scary.
You don't know what's up there. Could there be a bear or whatever? And God's just like, man, I'm gonna light your path one step at a time. That's what this is. So
I want it to be like a runway, like ding, 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 ding. So
I want street lights,
a spotlight up there, a sign. This is the way, like a GPS.
I was just thinking about that. How life is like a dark path or whatever, and how many things are out in that darkness that we don't see. God is at work doing.
Right.
Maybe He's keeping the bear occupied over here while we're walking past it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Psalm Proverbs 3,
5 through 7.
Yeah, because that's been my verse this year. It's the trust in the Lord. And I had to underline 5 times, lean not unto your own understanding. And I think if we can accept that, like, life is uncertain, like, stop searching for it in anything
Amen.
we can do.
Yep.
It's not available to us through our doing. But if we can accept that, then maybe it'll be a lot easier to, like, okay, God's got this. Let me just take this to the Lord, because maybe we need to fire ourselves from being the go-to for fixing our life.
What a terminology. That is really cool.
We need to.
Especially, like, that's what you do. So you fire somebody if they're not doing a good job.
Yeah,
We're not doing a good job. I mean,
We haven't been. Since the first day, we haven't been. We've been terrible employees.
And we just keep coming. Let's show up one more time. Let's give it a little extra push. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we need to fire ourselves. We need to.
I like that a lot. So God in life is kind of like, I had a friend of mine put it to me this way, and I like it a lot. God is the sky, and life is the weather. So, you're going to have, it's going to rain.
Right.
Right? It's going to be dry. It's going to be sunshiny and nice. Like, those things are going to happen. God is the sky, though. All those things pass over. They change and they move, but the sky is still there. We never have to wonder if the sky is going to be there. And we never have to wonder if there's going to be weather. It's going to be weather.
Right.
We don't know what it is. But God provides through all of that. He's steady and stable. And so Nate and I have been talking about this a lot, about how to try and enjoy God in all of it. And not like, hooray, my car broke down, but have a sense of gratitude about just whatever you're going through. Even if it's, God, I want to thank you for whatever the outcome of this is going to be.
Yeah.
Because, the lightning is not going to be there for 5 months at a time.
Right.
I mean, things are going to pass over. And then also learning how to be grateful in things like cooking dinner or mopping the floor.
Yeah.
And you can find different things to be grateful for in that. Even if it's, God, I want to thank you that my arms are still working. I'm learning this at 46. I want to thank you that my arms are still working.
Right.
I'm able to do this. I was talking to my brother the other day. I had to dig these really big holes for this foundation that we're building on this thing. And my brother was like, man, that's, it's a lot of work. You could have used a machine. You try to explain to him why we couldn't and everything like that. And but I was like, man, I'm just thankful that at 46, I can still get out there with young men and dig a hole, a big one, and be okay. Now, the tax is a little higher. I heard a little bit, they're fine the next day. I'm not, but
The recovery period is a little bit quicker.
Yeah, I got a higher tax bracket. I'm in a higher tax bracket now. Not a good one. But we can be thankful in these things, and that takes discipline, training, intentionality, and that kind of thing. But as a young man, my idol was like, I'm strong. I can outwork any of you people. I mean, so my physical body was my strength, not relying on God to get me through these things. So
yeah, I think that's a testament to the power of God, that He is within all of these things.
Amen.
And we just have to be willing to look for Him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to sit down.
Need to sit down and shut up, Lawana.
Yeah.
it works better if you say, Nate, I don't think you can make a shirt out of that. Sit down and shut up, Lawana.
Yeah, and Nate wears it. I don't think you'll be the special guest another time.
No, this podcast would be very boring if it was just me talking.
Oh my gosh! Don't give him any ideas.
This is really good, though, man. I really enjoy you guys. Man, I turned Yankee all of a sudden.
you got
y'all. I enjoy y'all's podcast. Man, my Louisiana family is going to disown me. Can you edit that out? But I appreciate y'all's podcast. I like listening to it a lot. Your insight's incredible. This one's been very convicting for me. I'm gonna have to meditate on this one.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for
joining. We really
joining.
appreciate it.
Happy to have you.
Has it been an hour yet? Do we have anything else to talk about?
No, it's
we're
been
pretty
close.
good. Yeah.
We can end it here.
Okay.
Do you want to say
got
something?
No, I just wanted to ask you guys or get your insight on one other thing.
Oh, he has a question.
Well, bibliolatry, the making an idol out of the Word of God, going to that instead of going to God. I mean, now that's super easy to do and justifiable, and it's something we should be in the Word and understanding it and reading it and meditating on these things. But we can end up making an idol out of that too, right? Like there is a term for it, bibliolatry. And church, we can do it. I mean, especially as ministers, be like, oh man, this is just what I do at the neglect of our families or those type of things. So what do we do with that?
Yeah, that's tough.
Not do it.
Yeah, not do it. No.
Sit down, Blake.
I think it's.
Sit down and shut up. Blake.
Sit down and shut up,
I
Blake.
think it's probably helpful that it's kind of in the same ballpark. Like God can convict you in that if you're in His Word and that's your idol. 100% He can convict you within that. But yeah, I don't know. That's tricky.
I wonder what are we seeking when we idolize those things?
There it is.
So what's the thing that we are trying to either escape from or we're trying to have that is creating that attachment to something above God? Because even the Bible was created. I mean, it's not that it created us. It didn't create God. It's an expression of who God is. It's a story that lets us see who God is. So what are you getting out of it is what I would ask. Like, what am I getting out of this? Sometimes we do, like, we're just, maybe we get a lot of external validation when people see us at church. They're like, oh, you just give so much. You're here all the time. We just love having you. Maybe we give there's some kind of pride in being able to quote all the scriptures or know all the things. It's like, oh, let's just ask Blake. He knows the scriptures. Maybe there's some kind of thing that you're getting out of that.
No. So I was thinking about this yesterday, and I was thinking about how if my wife were to, I think Rob may have given this analogy a long time ago, but anyway, if my wife were to give me like a really nice letter for my birthday or wedding vows or something, and she's trying to talk to me and I'm like reading the wedding vows and I'm like, shh, be quiet. I'm reading this. You're reading about, I'd be reading about my wife loving me and how much she loves me by ignoring her to do that, you know. Or we can sometimes use the Bible as a weapon, which I've been really having to check myself on lately, with the way that the church is kind of fighting each other. I'm not necessarily going into the Bible to find out more about God, but to justify my own theology or my own beliefs so that I can then use that whenever I'm speaking to people.
Or to prove where they're wrong. Or
Right, yeah. So if I think that taking the Bible and using that against the world would be idolatry, using it to understand who we are and who God is in a more intimate way would be the way that it's supposed to be used. So
yeah. Check the motive.
There you go. You answered your own question.
That's something I've been thinking about a lot lately. I was recognizing that I'm going to my Bible a lot more whenever things are coming up. And I'm like, I think that there's a Bible verse that talks about this. And I go, I can't remember where this is or what exactly it says. And I don't want to look like an idiot by paraphrasing the Bible or misquoting the Bible whenever I'm trying to use it. It should not be.
I don't think it's wrong to be literate in God's Word.
No, we should study ourselves to be approved. But if I'm using it as a sharpening stone for my sword, that might not be the best way to go into the Bible. So,
yeah.
That just reminded me of Paul, who was like, if somebody could boast, it would be me, because I was this, I knew this, I had all these accolades, and I have all this knowledge, and those things can be set up against the Lord too. So we want to make sure, whether it's academia or biblical knowledge, that we're not setting it up against the second greatest commandment, which was to
love our neighbors as ourselves.
Exactly.
Wow. Alrighty, we'll end it here. Thank you, Blake, for joining us.
That was kind of a mic drop right there. We do need to end it. That was good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you, Lawana.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
No T-shirt for Nate.
We would love for you to be a part of the conversation. If you have anything you would like to add or share, you can leave us a comment or email at egcfpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening.